Happy Tuesday. I'm back from my mini vacation where I learned quite a bit about myself. And that sounds really fucking cheesy, but it really is true. And the reason that today I am not offering a video podcast is simply because my space is in no way prepared for a video cast for this episode. I will try to resume as I'm going through. I have family coming over, so a lot is going on right now in the month of June for me. And, I'm kind of excited, kind of nervous, and kind of super fucking grateful. And I say this all the time, and I really mean it, that there are oftentimes certain happenings in our lives that bring the purpose of refocusing our attention to what we should be grateful for. Grateful for our family, grateful for our lives, grateful for the things that we often take for granted every single day, like our health or the hair on our head, and we don't realize how much we appreciate it until it's no longer there. And that's really tough, especially when you're faced with the probability of losing it. Today's episode isn't going to be too long, but it is going to be meant for you, for listeners, for all of you wonderful people out there to understand that although things might seem sometimes suffocating, sometimes impossible, sometimes frustrating, it's important to remember to reshift sometimes, right? And I don't mean to say that you should ignore and act like you're not struggling sometimes when you are. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that sometimes it's important to pause and shift your focus to that of gratefulness and appreciation for what it is you do have. Because I feel like a lot of us tend to focus on what it is we don't have in this moment. And I feel as though that perpetuates lack in our lives when all we do is focus on what we don't have, right? When we have a job, but we focus on the fact that we don't have money or enough money that we want, right? Or when we focus on, I don't know, I guess this kind of doubles as a relationship podcast. When we focus on the fact that we're single and we're alone, but we neglect the fact that we should be grateful that we're not in an abusive relationship with a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of silver linings to be grateful for in the things that you don't have, right? At least in this moment, because there's always something there, right? Like right now, you found a way to listen to this podcast. How awesome is that? You have a moment to disconnect from everything around you to enjoy what you have in this present moment, what you're able to do in this present moment. You're able to sit down, right? Put in your headphones or connect your Bluetooth or drive in your car, and you get to listen to this podcast, hopefully uninterrupted. There's a lot of things in our lives that are meant to refocus and make us understand or make us see the important shit in our lives. And it sounds sometimes kind of stifling to say, at least me personally as I'm saying it, because I don't have the intention to invalidate anybody's experiences, right? Because your experiences are your own. You are entitled to your own suffering, however it is you want to see it. However it is you want to experience it, you are entitled to that as a human being. However, it's important to realize that letting go of your suffering doesn't mean that you're going to have nothing. Because I feel like a lot of us feel like if we let go of that which is making us suffer, that which is causing us great misery, we feel as though we're going to have nothing left to our names. Sometimes we feel like our misery is all that we have, actually. And it's hard to convince other people otherwise. It's hard to convince a person otherwise, especially if they're in that trajectory of like a downward spiral where they feel truly within their hearts that they have nothing other than their suffering and their misery. And I'm here to tell you, as somebody that has believed that their misery and suffering was all that they had, that it is indeed not all you have. You have more than just suffering. You have a lot more. And it's important to disconnect and understand that, and I don't mean disconnect as in an apathetic way. I have to outline that. I don't mean to disconnect in the ways of apathy. I don't think that it's ever good to remain apathetic in a situation, because I think it blocks off the experience that you may need to experience. It's a defense mechanism when you're scared to feel the things that are around you. And it can be useful sometimes, but I think a lot of us forget to recenter and come back because it's just more comfortable to disconnect. But when I mean disconnect from the idea that your suffering is all that you have and your misery is all that you have. When there's a lot of things around you, and I don't know what they are, they're specific to the person. Like for me, I have a lot of wonderful, loving friends. I have an amazing family. You know, I have my puppy that's obsessed with me for whatever reason. I think it's because I feed him all the time or something. You know, I'm employed. I have a certain sense of stability. And that doesn't mean that I'm content or not ambitious or not driven to get more for myself. That's still very much a desire for me. There's still a lot of things that I want for myself to improve my life. Like a better job or a better relationship with my family or my friends, more activity in my life, you know, a stronger sense of self, all those things. You know, just because I'm grateful for the things that I have doesn't mean that I'm going to remain complacent and non-ambitious for things that I want for myself in the future, because I still want more for myself and those around me, right? So today, on this day in June, whenever you happen to stumble upon this episode, either on YouTube or on Spotify or on my blog page that I have unfortunately been neglecting, I want you to remember to be grateful for what you have. Because as quickly as life comes to us, sometimes we don't realize how easy it is for things to be taken away from us, either by accident or by happenstance. It could be a relationship, it could be your own life. And we never know when the last time we're going to step out of our door is, or the last time we're going to have a coherent conversation with our friends or family is. We really don't know, because anything can happen when we walk out the door. Remain grateful for your life. Show gratitude for the things that you have in your life. Let go of that which you feel is lacking in your life. Don't forget to chase more for yourself, if that's what you want. Try to remain compassionate and loving with people around you. Because no matter what, it's not over. Nothing is truly done. All right? And even in death, I'm sure the gods negotiate. If you haven't seen Ever After with Drew Barrymore, I urge you, because that movie is fucking Drew Barrymore. I love her. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. For some reason, summer here in California is lagging, and we're still getting cloudy days with some chilliness. And I am about to write a letter to the weather machine people and tell them to get their shit together, because I am ready to get sunburned, and that's just not happening for me yet. And that grinds my gears, man. That gets me going. Not in a good way either. All right, guys. I love you so much. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye now.